Malcolm Rivers is a schizophrenic murderer who is on death row for a series of heinous crimes that have left a profound mark on the community. His psychiatrist, Dr. Malik, has uncovered a chilling notebook belonging to Rivers, which may shed light on the twisted motivations behind his horrific actions. This discovery prompts a fresh hearing to be held on a stormy night, with rumbles of thunder acting as a fitting backdrop to the tense proceedings. Malik, who has spent years working with Rivers, stands before the judge, passionately arguing for mercy and a deeper understanding of the complexities that underpin his patient's mind. Simultaneously, 10 individuals find themselves stranded in an isolated motel deep within the Nevada desert, cut off from the outside world by a fierce storm. The relentless rain lashes against the building, and the winds howl ominously, creating an atmosphere thick with tension and uncertainty. As the storm worsens, community members from various backgrounds, some of whom have experienced personal turmoil, gather at the motel, each seeking refuge from the tempest outside. Among them are weary travelers, a couple on the brink of breaking up, and a family trying to reconnect after years of emotional distance. With phone lines down and darkness settling in, the group prepares to endure the lengthy night ahead, tending to one another and sharing strained conversations to alleviate their growing anxiety. However, the atmosphere quickly shifts from one of mild unease to one of sheer terror as they uneasily realize that they are not alone. One by one, the guests are picked off by a mysterious murderer lurking in the shadows, each death occurring with striking precision and leaving behind cryptic clues. A key from room 10 serves as the first signal of the chaos that is unfolding. Back in the courtroom, the atmosphere is equally fraught as Malik reveals the chilling contents of Malcolm's notebook. It unveils that Rivers suffers from a severe case of dissociative identity disorder, possessing 10 distinct personalities, each of which exhibits unique traits and behaviors while sharing the same birth date. This complex psychological condition raises profound ethical questions about responsibility and culpability as the lines between Malcolm's actions and those of his myriad identities blur. As the judge and the courtroom attendees grapple with the implications of this revelation, Malik finds himself in a race against time. He realizes that he can summon one of Rivers' personalities, a figure known as Ed, hoping that by engaging with Ed, he can access the key to stopping any further violence. Malik's intervention leads to a surreal journey as events at the motel start to unravel within Malcolm's mind itself. Each personality represents different facets of his psyche, endeavoring to confront the malevolent identity, no easy task. Meanwhile, individuals at the motel are growing increasingly frantic as the reality of the murderer's presence dawns on them. They become suspicious of one another, alliances form and dissolve, trust erodes, and paranoia reigns supreme. As Ed, the persona summoned by Malik, comes to terms with the situation, he deduces that it is Rhodes, another personality, who has taken on the role of the killer. In a sacrificial act of bravery driven by desperation to save the remaining guests, Ed confronts Rhodes, ultimately sacrificing himself in a dramatic and intense confrontation. The violent clash shakes the very foundations of Malcolm's fracturing mind but succeeds in allowing Paris, the last remaining guest, to escape the malevolence that has laid waste to their gathering. In the courtroom, the tension rises as Malik assesses the implications of Ed's sacrifice. He argues passionately about the necessity for Malcolm to receive treatment rather than face execution, asserting that the moral complexities of his multiple identities deserve understanding and compassion. Just as the entirety of the nightmarish scenario plays out, Malik's diligence aligns with the judge's leniency, and he orders Malcolm to be placed in a mental institution under Malik's supervision rather than heading to the gallows. This resolution opens a door to an unsettling yet hopeful trajectory for Malcolm Rivers. While the memories of his crimes loom large, the possibility for rehabilitation exists. The complexities of mental health are brought to the forefront as society grapples with the fine line between justice and mercy. In the desolate motel, the lives lost become a haunting reminder of how deeply intertwined the human psyche can be, leaving a lasting impression not just on those who were there but also on the wider community that faces the ripple effects of such tragic incidents. The storm may have passed, but its legacy lingers on, much like the remnants of Malcolm's fragmented personas struggling for understanding in the aftermath. Malcolm imagines Paris driving away from the motel, headed back to her tranquil hometown in Florida, while he and Malik make their way to the institution. The thought of Paris in her hometown brings a slight sense of peace to his troubled mind. As she tends to the orange grove that has always been her sanctuary, the vibrant scent of ripe oranges fills the air, mingling with the soft rustle of leaves and the gentle breeze. It is here, amidst the familiar trees, that she unexpectedly discovers the Room 1 motel key half buried in the ground. It lies there like a piece of a fractured past, silently beckoning her to remember. Turning around, she is startled to find young Timmy standing behind her. He is just a child in appearance, yet there is an unsettling darkness in his eyes. Timmy, the true architect of chaos, had cunningly orchestrated the fatalities at the motel while cleverly making it seem as though he had also fallen victim. With a chilling resolve, he approaches her, and as he prepares to fulfill his grim mission, he begins reciting Hugh Murn's haunting poem, Antigonish. Meanwhile, Malcolm's inner turmoil is reaching a boiling point. Driven solely by the remnants of his ego, which have been heavily influenced by Timmy's sinister presence, he finds himself engulfed in rage. In a moment of overwhelming desperation, he turns on Malik, strangles him, and watches as the power dynamics shift dramatically. The transport van they occupy veers off the road, careening wildly down a forgotten path.